KSST 1230 AM Sulphur Springs. Time for LadyCat softball. Let's go to LadyCat Park where the game will be called by KSST Sports Director Don Julius. Don?
Well, James Terry, thank you very much, and welcome everyone into LadyCat Park, where we have district softball tonight between the Lady Cats of Sulphur Springs and the Texas High Lady Tigers. Lady Cats are 3-1 in district play. The only blemish on the record last Friday, a big showdown with Mount Pleasant. Both of those teams 3-0, and Mount Pleasant won that ball game 3-1, getting very, very good pitching. And to take a 4-0 district record into play tonight. Lady Cats 3-1. Texas High is 2-2 so far in district play, as they have picked up a couple of wins. They beat Greenville and Royce City, and then they lost to Mount Pleasant and also to Lindale. And in that game, they really rallied from behind after they were, I think they were down something like 7-0. They tied it up and then I think ended up losing something like 11-7. So anyway, Texas High kind of up and down this year, 2-2 in district play. Umpires meeting is going on right now with Lady Cats head softball coach David Carrillo and the head coach of Texas High Lady Tigers, Robbie Hatfield. And we appreciate Robbie Hatfield, by the way, for giving us permission to do a live stream of this ball game tonight. And so anybody that wants to avail themselves of that can certainly do that. And also this game will be up on YouTube sometime after the conclusion. And you can pull that down if you want and take a look. And also, we always appreciate those that allow us to do our Channel 18 tape delay broadcast for our cable audience in Sulphur Springs, and radio as well. We're always happy to be able to do that as well. You don't appreciate those things until they're restricted sometime, and we've had some of the sting of that. And so we are glad when we get approval to do everything like we have tonight. So the Lady Cats, some season record of 17-5, and the home plate meeting is now breaking up, and Kevin Tanton, the PA announcer, has been given his signal to intervene here and introduce starting lineups for both teams and national anthem and all that. Well, Kevin Tanton coming up very shortly here. He's former assistant coach for these Lady Cats, and also not only softball, but also basketball as well for Coach Jeff Chapman. Here's Kevin Tanton.
Texarkana Lady Tigers and your Sulphur Springs Lady Cats. First in line for the visiting Lady Tigers. Number 9, Haley Smith. Number 7, Sophie Creed. Number 16, Elizabeth Smith. The designated player, number 5, Ashanti Northcross. At short, number 3, Bailey Groom. At third, number 14, Lauren Ulrich. At first, 15, Caitlin Cross. Catching tonight, number 6, Kylie Spriggs. In left field, number 10, Alexis Bolden. At second, number 2, Vanessa Perez. In right field, number 4, Alex Reed. In center, number 1, Valerie Perez. And pitching tonight, number 12, Lindsay Egger. Lady Tigers are coached by Robbie Hackett. And now for your Sulphur Springs LadyCats. Number 5, Cabria Harrison. Number 8, Landry Bell. Number 13, Tessa Holt. Number 14, Abby Baird. Number 16, Darby Williams. Leading off for the LadyCats, playing short, number 7, Kelsey Wallace. In right field, number 4, Allie Fox. Catching tonight, number 22, Brinkley Dropper. At third, number 3, Kate Womack. In center tonight, number 18, Sadie Stroud. At second, number 17, Sierra Smith. Your designated player, number 10, Addison Cadell. At first, number 12, Maddie Millsap. In left, number 6, Nyla Linton. And in the circle tonight, number 1, Bailey Haggerty. LadyCats are coached by head coach Dick Grillo, assistants Bailey Donner, Chris Valadivinos, and Jeremy Donner. And now, ladies and gentlemen, would you please stand? Gentlemen, please remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem.
Our national anthem here from LadyCat Park on a beautiful night for softball. Kevin Tanton doing the announcing, as we mentioned, and starting lineups for both teams, and then leading us into the national anthem. Bailey Haggerty pitching tonight for the LadyCats, and she'll be starting her warm-up pitches just any second now to catcher Brinkley Driver. Maddie Millsap is down at first base. Sierra Smith will be at second. Kate Womack playing third base. And Kelsey Wallace is the shortstop. Nyla Lindley is out in left field. Sadie Stroud in center field. And Allie Fight in right field, as we have a glee club down below, obviously. In fact, in my ears anyway, they sound loud enough I can barely hear myself. But I'm hoping it's not that way at home. But boy, that was an energetic group out really feeling it out here at the ballpark. The first three hitters for Texas High are scheduled to hit in the top of the first inning. Their designated player, Ashanti Northcross. The shortstop is Bailey Groom. And the third baseman is Lauren Allred. You know, we had an Allred on the Texas High baseball team. We did them earlier this season. And I would have a sneaking suspicion that those players are related. That was Connor Allred, and he was the right fielder for Texas High. And he actually went 1 for 4 and scored a run when the Texas High Tigers played the Wildcats baseball team. That was back on March the 22nd.
Leading off, number 5, Ashanti Northcross.
And here is the designated player now, Ashanti Northcross, left-handed hitter. And steps in there against Bailey Haggerty. Just about ready to get this one underway here. A little tardy by a few minutes. And Bailey Haggerty's first pitch is on the way, and it is outside for ball 1. First pitch tonight, by the way, at 6:42. And 1-0 the count to Northcross. Infield in for her, this slapper. 1-0 pitch, and that is going to miss inside. 2-0 the count to Ashanti Northcross. That's from the left side, and a slap hitter, and again that has that LadyCat infield drawn in all the way around. Especially at third base, Kate Womack could shake hands. There's the 2-0 pitch, call strike on the outside part of the plate. And 2 balls and 1 strike to Northcross from Bailey Haggerty. Bailey consulting that wristband, and it's Bailey to Bailey tonight because Bailey Dorner's calling the pitches. 2-1 pitch. Up too high, 3-1 the count. Bailey Dorner, one of the assistants, along with Chris Valdivinos. And Jeremy, don't forget Jeremy down there. DeLorge. Here's a 3-1 pitch, swung on, hit foul down the left side way. Count is now full count now at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Northcross back in the batter's box for the Texas High Lady Tigers. And again, Bailey Haggerty steps back on that pitching rubber now, in the circle, ready to go. And the 3-2 pitch on the way, and that hitter on ball 4. So Northcross is on base.
Number 3, Bailey Groom.
And Bailey Groom, the hitter now. She's the shortstop for Texas High. Hits from the right side with Northcross running down at first. Just underway here from LadyCat Park. And the first pitch from Haggerty, bunted on, foul at home plate. Picked up quickly there by the catcher, Brinkley Driver. Strike 1 on Bailey Groom. Northcross returns to first base. And she is really staring down at third base coach Robbie Hatfield, the head man for Texas High. And this pitch on the way, bunted and picked up by Maddie Millsap. Throw to first is in time. There's a throw to second. The runner had rounded second a little bit, not in time. So a good sacrifice there by Bailey Groom. And the LadyCats get the out at first base. On the play, Northcross moves down to second. And here's Lauren Allred. We mentioned her and the Connor Allred on the baseball team. Somebody will probably write and say, you know, those players are not related. Well, you never know. Ball outside, ball one. We've had some players on with the same name on a team. They can turn out to be cousins or something. Don't always have to be siblings. Here's a 1-0 pitch. There's a call strike. 1 ball and 1 strike to Allred. She's a left-handed hitter. If I recall correctly, I believe Connor Allred is too. But my memory may be faulty. And the 2-0 pitch swung on, hit foul back on the screen. 2 balls and 1 strike. As old, a good friend from the past, unfortunately no longer with us, Bud Mitchell used to tell me, Don, I've slept since then, when I'd ask him something he didn't remember. Good old Bud Mitchell. All the Sulphur Springs folks remember him, I'm sure. 2-1 pitch, that's outside. 3-1 the count now to Lauren Allred. Bud was quite a World War II hero. Had some interesting stories to tell when Doug and I one time went over in VFW and did some interviews. And there's a ball, hard shot to second, fielded Sierra Smith, throw to first in time. And on the play, Northcross scoots over to third base. Nice play on a well-hit ball by Sierra Smith at second base. So that's 2 out now for the Lady Tigers with a runner at third. And here is Caitlin Cross, and let me tell you, this is one whale of a volleyball player right here. I certainly remember her. And I know Coach Trotter Hardy down at first does as well. She was the head volleyball coach, and she's an assistant for softball. That pitch misses outside, ball 1 the count to Caitlin Cross. She looks like she could hit the ball a country mile up there. And Bailey Haggerty ready to work here, and the 1-0 pitch on the way. Call strike. 1 ball and 1 strike to Caitlin Cross. Hitting cleanup, she'll play first base for the Lady Tigers. Bailey Haggerty again checking that wristband. And the 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Bailey took something off that and was on the outside part of the plate. Cross took a big cut but didn't come up with it, and the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. 2 outs here in the top of the first inning. Runner down at third. Northcross hit by a pitch and then has moved all the way to third on a couple of ground outs. Won a sacrifice. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Oh, call, strike 3, and Bailey Haggerty is out of the first inning. So after the leadoff batter is on, 3 up and 3 down for Texas High. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. We played half an inning here at LadyCat Park. It's Texas High, Lady Tigers 0, and the LadyCats of Sulphur Springs coming to bat. Bottom of the first inning, and Lindsay Egger is pitching for Texas High, right-handed pitcher. Throwing into the catcher, Kylie Spriggs. Caitlin Cross is down at first, Vanessa Perez at second, Lauren Allred at third, and Bailey Groom at shortstop. Alexis Bolden in left, Valerie Perez in center, and Alex Reed out in right field for the Texas High Lady Tigers. And the first 3 scheduled hitters for the Lady Cats in the bottom of the first inning, Kelsey Wallace, Allie Fight, and Brinkley Driver. 1, 2, and 3 in the Lady Cats order here in the bottom of the first inning. Texas High did not score in the top of the first, so goose eggs on the scoreboard so far. And here is Kelsey Wallace. Steps in from the right side. They're inching in. I have never known Kelsey to be a slap hitter, and the first pitch comes into her, and too low for ball 1. Outfield is straight away for Kelsey, who has a lot of power. Here's a 1-0 pitch. That's in there for a call strike. 1 ball and 1 strike to Kelsey Wallace. 4-year starter for the Lady Cats. David Carrillo put her out there at shortstop as a freshman. And the 1-1 pitch over but low, and 2-1 the count to Kelsey Wallace. Quite several players on this team, seniors and 4-year starters. 2-1 pitch, swung on, hit foul down the third base way. David Carrillo looked like a hockey goalie there with a kick save as it went by him. I don't think he was fending that off, if anything. He just said, ball, get away from me. 2-2 the count. Bailey Dorner is coaching down at first base. What we were talking Bailey to Bailey, she calls the pitches for Bailey Haggerty. Here's the 2-2 pitch. That's outside. The count goes full now to Kelsey Wallace. Principal driver here at the high school says Kelsey is the best shortstop in East Texas. Swung on and hit well to left center field. The left fielder is heading back, and it's over the wall for a home run for Kelsey Wallace on a 3-2 pitch. The left fielder went back, thought she had a play on the ball, just kept going back, and finally it disappeared just over that left field wall for a home run for Kelsey Wallace. And the Lady Cats leading 1-0. That'll bring up Allie Fight, the right fielder for the Lady Cats.
Number 4, Allie Fight.
I believe Allie is he's second or third year. Time flies sometimes, and I lose track of these things. She's been a great addition to the team. And the pitch to Allie. She's one of those that I believe she was on the varsity as a freshman player. It was a transfer, came in. Did a little pitching her first year, but she's now a big-time batter up there. 1-0 the count, and that pitch misses. 2-0 the count to Allie Fight. Got her in the 2 spot. Her hitting has kind of changed a little bit, but she can still hit with a lot of power, and also she can kind of slap and sacrifice and that stuff. 2-0, swing and a miss, and the count is 2-1 now to Allie Fight. Again, Lindsay Egger pitching for Texas High. Has that face mask on. That's quite common for safety for those balls that get blasted back through there. 2-1 pitch. There's a call strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes now to Allie Fight. Lady Cats with a one run in already on the home run by Kelsey Wallace. And nobody out as we hit here in the bottom of the first inning. And the 2-2 pitch swung on, hit foul. Back on the roof. And the count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Allie Fight back in there from the right side, and the wind up and the 2-2 pitch swung on. She reached out to protect the plate and sent a foul back onto the concourse, I believe. I think that stayed within the park here. And here's the 2-2 pitch on the way. Swung on and base hit to center field for Allie Fight. Bobbled out there in center, but picked up real quickly there by Valerie Perez. So a home run and a single to get the inning going here in the bottom of the first inning. And here's Brinkley Driver. Powerful Brinkley. As she gets ready to step into the batter's box with Allie Fight running down at first. And Egger ready to work here. Pitch to Brinkley Driver. That missed. Maybe just a tad too high and outside. Ball 1. Close pitch that time. 1-0 the count. And Egger with a 1-0 pitch. A call strike. Now that had to be right around the knees and just barely over that outside part of the plate. Count even now, 1 ball and 1 strike to Brinkley Driver. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Swung on and popped out into shallow right field. The second baseman's back and makes the catch. That was Vanessa Perez. And that is out number 1 for the Lady Cats. That'll bring up Kate Womack, who's hitting in the number 4 spot for the Lady Cats. Kate, a basketball player for the Lady Cats. So she was a little late getting into softball. And it didn't take her long to break in there in a big way. Here's Egger's pitch. She took something off that kind of floated in and bounced in front of the plate, but a good defensive job there by Kylie Spriggs. Keep that ball in front of her. 1-0 the count to Kate Womack. 1-0 pitch, high and outside, 2-0 the count. Catcher came up Spriggs that time, ready to throw in case Fight had any ideas of taking off. And the 2-0 pitch on the way, swung on and base hit out into right field. And Fight will stop at second base as Kate Womack went the other way and just served that right between the first and second baseman out into right field for a solid base hit. And congratulations, Lady Cats. You've just equaled all the hits you had against Mount Pleasant last Friday. They got only collected 3 hits. That's unheard of for the Lady Cats. And they already have 3 hits here in the bottom of the first inning. Sadie Stroud is up there and takes a strike. So 0-1 the count to Sadie Stroud. Another one of those seniors came in with Wallace and Brinkley Driver. Swing and a miss by Stroud. She was not cheated on that. She took a big time rip. And she's down in the count 0-2. 1 out, runners at second and first. And the 0-2 pitch, that swung on, hit foul off the right side. Hit bang off the Texas High dugout and then head onto the concourse. So 0-2, the count remains. Another one of those freshmen that got in there before the season was over, Bailey Haggerty. There's the ball swung on, blooped out to right field. The right fielder coming in, it's in there for a base hit. And runners will be safe at all the bases. So a little duck snort out into right field by Sadie Stroud has loaded the bases here. So it's Stroud at first, Womack at second, and Allie Fight around to third base. The bases are loaded with 1 out. The Lady Cats already have a run in on the Kelsey Wallace home run, and here is Sierra Smith for the Lady Cats, the second baseman, and the Texas High infield is drawn in. Pitch to Sierra Smith, swung on and hit back into the screen for strike 1. Now Sierra's got to be licking her chops right now. I mean, that infield in there like this, it makes anything that can just scoot through that infield. And the 0-1 pitch, swung on and hit well to center field. The center fielder going back, hits over the wall. A grand slam home run for Sierra Smith. Boy, the ball is carrying well tonight. A grand slam home run for Sierra Smith, and the Lady Cats go up 5-0. Boy, you could tell that ball was well struck. I honestly thought it was going to hit off that big wall, but it cleared all the way above that big wall. So let me write all those RBIs in for Sierra Smith, all 4 of them.
Number 10, Addison Goodell.
And the scoreboard has shorted the Lady Cats a run, by the way. Abby Beggs, if you are listening in there, you might want to tack on another one. Here's Addison Cadell, swung on and hit foul back into the screen for strike 1. That was a grand salami. Scored Allie Fight, Kate Womack, and Sadie Stroud. Now the scoreboard says 5-0. Pitch to Addison Cadell. That one bounced in front of the plate and then kind of just dribbled into the catcher. 1-1, and now Spriggs, the catcher for Texas High, will go out and talk to Lindsay Egger. Settle her down a little bit. That'll unnerve you a little bit to give up that big grand slam home run. 1 ball, 1 strike. Addison Cadell, speaking of freshmen making their way onto the varsity, here's one. 1-1 pitch, swung on and grounded to the, it went off the second baseman. And Addison Cadell is on. I don't know if Cross, first baseman, got a piece of that one, but it went off of Vanessa Perez. I'll score that as an error. And now here's Maddie Millsap hitting in the 8 spot. Maddie, a right-handed hitter. And the pitch on the way, and that's in there for a call strike to Maddie Millsap. And Maddie steps in there. And Egger, next pitch, swung on and missed, 0-2 the count. Maddie quite involved in UIL academic. She's Gerald Grafton, he's the main man, and she's his assistant, and also coaches some of the teams. That's amazing for a student to be doing that, and I'm quite proud of her for that. I think it's social studies, maybe current events, some of that kind of stuff. And she's getting some results. She had several of her students that'll be heading to regional competition after the big district meet was right here in Sulphur Springs over the weekend. 1 ball and 2 strikes and 1 out. And next pitch to Maddie Millsap, swing and a miss. And that's out number 2 for the Lady Cats. That'll bring up Nyla Lindley. She's the left fielder for the Lady Cats and the 9-hole hitter. So the Lady Cats are batting around here in the bottom of the first. The pitch to Nyla is high and outside for ball 1. Addison Cadell is running down at first. Addison, a pitcher, oftentimes is the designated player tonight. Next pitch is swung on, hit foul back in the screen. 1 ball and 1 strike to Nyla Lindley. Nyla in her second year of Lady Cat softball, a sophomore, and was also the only non-senior starter of the Lady Cats basketball team this year. Here's the 1-1 pitch. It's swung on and popped behind home plate. The catcher coming back and making a nice catch. Kylie Spriggs made the catch on that popper right back behind her, not quite to the screen. So that's going to do it for the Lady Cats, but they score 5 runs. And they had 6 hits. There was 1 Texas High error and 1 runner left on base. So we've played 1 inning here from Lady Cat Park. It's the Sulphur Springs Lady Cats 5 and the Texas High Lady Tigers 0. Also just getting underway a short distance from here over at Wildcat Park. The Sulphur Springs Wildcats are playing the Lindale Eagles tonight over there in their wild and crazy 3 games against all district foes scheduled this year. This will be game 2, and the teams will complete their series with a game on Friday, though each week will be dedicated to a different team. And it was Royce City last week and Lindale this week for the Wildcats. Bailey Haggerty ready to work, top of the second. There's a hot one hopper to shortstop, picked up by Kelsey Wallace. She fires to first. Normally the shortstop can't afford a bobble, but that was hit so hard that Wallace knocked it down. It went right in front of her. She picked it up and fired to first for out number 1. I misstated the wrap-up on the score. It was 5 runs, 5 hits, 1 error, and 1 runner left on base. Not 6 hits, but 5. 1 out, nobody on. Here's Alexis Bolden, as that was Kylie Spriggs that hit that shot to the shortstop that Wallace threw to first base, and now Bolden has a strike 1 count. This is the left fielder for Texas High, the right-handed hitter. And the 0-1 pitch, that swung on and popped behind the plate. Brinkley driver, oh, she back for that one, but couldn't quite round it up. Boy, you could just see her really hustling back after that one. 0-2 the count now to Alexis Bolden. Texas High for a radio audience in black primarily. Lots of orange trim and orange numerals, orange socks. And Bolden back in there. Bailey Haggerty, the 0-2 pitch, just off the plate. That was a close pitch, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Lady Cats in blue tops with white numerals, the white letters across the front. and black softball pants with some blue socks. And Bailey Haggerty 1-2 pitch. That's outside, 2-2 the count. Now we've got the fashion report out of the way. Those watching Doug Hastings' video say, I can see all that. Watching live streaming, you say the same thing. I can see that. And Bailey Haggerty ready to work now to Alexis Bolden. Here's a 2-2 pitch that swung on and popped foul out of play. It hammers on the roof here. Sounded like those hailstones recently when we had that tornado warning, and with those eerie sirens sounding and that hail pounding off my roof. It was a scary sight. Bailey Haggerty 2-2 pitch. That's outside, and the count goes full now to Alexis Bolden. One out, nobody on here in the top of the second. Full count now to this left fielder for Texas High. And Bailey Haggerty again consulting that wristband. And the 3-2 pitch on the way is swung on and hit out toward center field, heading back. Oh, and reaching out with a nice snag there was Sierra Smith. I thought the LadyCats were going to let that one fall, but Smith reached out at the last second and just snagged that ball.
Number 2, Vanessa Perez.
Oh, a nice catch. So 2 up and 2 out. And here's Vanessa Perez. There are 2 of these Perez in the lineup, the second baseman and the center field, both with V names, Vanessa Perez and Valerie Perez. So 2 up and 2 out here in the top of the second, and Vanessa Perez swings and hits a popper down the third baseway. It's caught in foul territory by Kate Womack, and that's going to do it. An easy inning that time for Bailey Haggerty. 3 up and 3 down. No runs, no hits. There were no errors, and nobody left on base. We played an inning and a half here at LadyCat Park. It's the LadyCats 5 and Texas High 0. And completing the warm-up pitches now for Texas High, Lindsay Egger in her second inning of work. A throw goes down to second base from catcher Kylie Spriggs. And the LadyCats will do it all over again, I guess, as they will start with the top of the batting order here in the top of the second inning. Or bottom of the second, excuse me. LadyCats leading 5-0. 5 runs, 5 hits in that bottom of the first. And here's Kelsey Wallace. She hit a home run in the ball game, 1 for 1. That pitch misses outside for ball 1 to Kelsey Wallace. Wallace back in the batter's box. She slightly choked up on that bat. And the 1-0 pitch. That just missed outside. Close pitch, 2-0 the count. From the pitcher now, Lindsay Egger. And 2-0 pitch is swung on and blistered to the shortstop, off the shortstop. Oh, and she can't pick it up. That kind of handcuffed Bailey Groom, the shortstop. It was well struck, but Groom kind of had it, and then she dropped it, and then she picked it up, and then she dropped it again, and by then, that's all she wrote. A runner at first with nobody out on the error, and here's Allie Fight. She singled and scored. She was the lead runner on that grand slam home run, came in from third base. And the pitch from Egger bunted at and missed for strike 1, Allie Fight. Wallace running down at first, has good speed. She's a very smart base runner. Allie Fight steps out and takes a mighty warm-up cut. If you're going to get a warm-up cut, might as well get your money's worth, right? Here's the 0-1 pitch, swung on and hit foul back over her head. Count is 2 strikes to Allie Fight. A lot of different ways to spell Allie. Hers is A-L-L-I. And here's the 0-2 pitch. Took something off. She bloops it down the right field way. Foul ball. First baseman and second baseman chasing, but nobody could get to that. The count remains 0-2 to Allie Fight. Just a gorgeous day for softball, 68 degrees. That's Chamber of Commerce kind of stuff, isn't it? You know, if you were to sit down and say, here's what I want for the weather, this day would be close to what you would want. Here's the 0-2 pitch. That misses inside. That was a very hot pitch that time thrown by Lindsey Egger, but missed just inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Allie Fight back in there. And the 1-2 pitch is on the way. Swung on and hit off the fist out to left field. In there for a base hit. Groom dived for the ball, just came up short. She almost made a spectacular catch on that. That just eluded her. So Allie Fight is 2 for 2. On the play, Wallace advanced to second base. So 2 on, but nobody out, I should say. Here's Brinkley Driver. She had a pop-up to the second baseman her first time up. Pitch to Brinkley is over, but low for ball 1. Boy, Brinkley has had a bunch of minor little kind of stuff this year. And that she's had to fend off, so hope she gets really healthy for the last part of the season. 1-0, the pitch swung on, slash to the third baseman. Steps on the bag, throw to first. It got away at first. And Allie Fight moves to third, rounds the base, but there comes the throw back to the infield. So a smart play, good play there by the third baseman, Lauren Allred, as she got the lead runner. And then had a good shot at Brinkley Driver at first base, but throw got away, but which allowed Allie Fight to move over to third. And Abby Bayer is now running at first base for the Lady Cats for Brinkley Driver. And the pitch now to Kate Womack is in there for a call strike. One out in the inning. Runners at the corners, first and third. And the next pitch to Kate Womack is swung on and hit out into left center field. The left fielder over and makes the catch. Runner at third tags, and she will come in to score. And on the throw, got away from the catcher, and Abby Bayer streaks down to second base, takes a huge turn around second, and drew the throw out there. So Abby Bayer says, I want to see you throw the ball. So a sacrifice fly RBI for Kate Womack. Scored the 6th Lady Cat run. Coming in to score it was Allie Fight. And then on that errant throw to the plate, Abby Bayer moved to second. And now Bayer steals third base. Kind of a delayed steal there. And Abby Bayer scoots over to third. And the 1-0 pitch to Sadie Stroud, and that's in there. 1 ball and 1 strike. Sadie singled her first time up. Just hit the ball out to left field, just kind of blooped it up over the infield. And here's Egger's 1-1 pitch. Swung on, base hit to left field, buzzed the umpire, and an RBI single for Sadie Stroud. And coming in to score was Abby Bayer, running again for a Brinkley Driver.
17, Sierra Smith.
That makes it a 7-0 ball game. And here's Sierra Smith. First pitch misses, ball 1. Sierra hit a grand slam home run her first time up. So she is 1 for 1, a home run and 4 RBIs. And the 1-0 pitch, that's outside, 2-0 the count, Sierra Smith. As you can well imagine, Egger, if she remembers this batter, he's pitching her very, very carefully. And the 2-0 pitch, swung on, hit, 1 hop back to Egger. There's a throw to first, and that's going to do it for the Lady Cats. But they scratch out a couple more runs. Lady Cats 2 runs and 2 hits. And 1 Texas High error and 1 runner left on base. So he played 2 complete innings here at Lady Cat Park. Lady Cats of Sulphur Springs 7 and the Texas High Tigers 0. Moving now into the top of the third inning. LadyCats of Sulphur Springs 7 and Texas High 0. Good Brinkley drivers throw down to second base. And 8, 9, and 1 scheduled to hit for Texas High here in the top of the third inning. And this will be Alex Reed, a left-handed hitter hitting in the 8 hole for Texas High. Cameron Kahn here at the ball game, watching him come up the aisle. He's sitting close, I think, to Jermon Bryant Amos up here in the stands. And the first pitch swung on and grounded to the shortstop. Wallace fielded, throw to first. Oh, she pulled Millsap off the bag. And I don't know if they would have gotten Reed anyway. They scored that a controversial base hit.
Number 1, Valerie Perez.
Here's Valerie Perez now. If that's the only hit they get, I'll be sorry I did that, but I'm thinking a good throw would have got her. You could always argue that. It was a bang-bang play if it had been on the money. Pitch to Valerie Perez, misses outside for ball 1. We actually scored a Texas High game with had a pitcher named Turley back in the day. He was a great pitcher, a left-hander. He ended up going to Baylor, and he pitched a one-hitter in my book. Here's a bunt. It's a beauty. Picked up Molly Millsap. She has no throw. That is a bunt base hit by Valerie Perez. So the first two Lady Tigers are on base here in the top of the third inning without getting the ball out of the infield. Runners at second and first. Anyway, Turley had a one-hitter in my book, but Big Al Hanna scoring the ball game for Texas High had it as a no-hitter. And so in our spare time, we didn't have anything better to do. We'd argue about that. Here's a pitch to Ashanti Northcross and misses outside for ball 1. Northcross was hit by a 3-2 pitch in the first inning, so technically hit by a pitch, or you call it a base on balls, but it did strike her. So I went ahead and hit by a pitch. Here's the 1-0 pitch, swung on and bunted again. Picked up Millsap, throw to first, and safe at first. There's a throw to second, not in time, and Texas High has loaded the bases with small ball here, plus a ground ball to short that with a little bit of a high throw there by Kelsey Wallace. So the bases are loaded now with Texas High Lady Tigers in this 7-0 ball game. And here's Bailey Groom. She sacrificed her first time up, swung and hit back into the screen for strike 1. Kind of eerily familiar. You know, Lindale jumped on this Texas High team 7-0. And the next thing you know it, Texas High had tied that ball game at 7 before Lindale ended up winning it, I think, something like 11-7. So this Texas High team can strike. They are a good team. Bases loaded, nobody out. 0-1 pitch on the way to Groom. Just missed outside that. Was a very close pitch. 1 ball and 1 strike. Sure the Lady Cats would prefer to bring that ball home. They're deep at second and short. They're in at first and third. But I think Wallace has a strong enough arm. She could wing it up there. Here's a 1-1 pitch, swung on and hit well to left field. The left fielder going back, and it is hit the top of the wall and went over. A grand slam home run for Texas High. And when both teams have one in the ball game. Bailey Groom, boy, that hit on the top of the wall. You could see it hit that yellow stripe on the top of the wall as Nyla Lindley went back and watched it hit on that stripe and then go over the wall for a grand slam home run. And now both teams have the grand slam home run. And that makes it instantly now a 7-4 ball game. And conference time for the Lady Cats, kind of try to get things back under control here as Texas High struck for a 4 spot. Here's Lauren Allred. She grounded to second her first time up. Hit the ball very hard out to the second baseman, Sierra Smith. And the pitch from Bailey Haggerty is outside for ball 1. So 3 base hits on the infield, and then the grand salami. 1 for each team. Boy, you don't see that very often. 1-0 the pitch. There's a called strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. Tardy on the call. The scoreboard quickly changed that from 2-0 to 1-1. That was done very, very nicely, scoreboard. 1-1 pitch. Misses outside. 2-1 the count. Abby Beggs, I mentioned, running that scoreboard. I believe she still is in there. She's going to be in the district track meet the next couple of days. Probably at least tomorrow. That pitch misses outside. 3-1 the count. So I'm not. She's in the field events, and I'm not sure whether she has responsibilities beyond the first day, but I know for a fact she does on that first day. Be a lot of field events on that one. And the 3-1 pitch swung on, hit out toward left field, and is in there for a base hit, heading down the line. Picked up by Nyla Lindley, throwing into second, but Lauren Allred continues the hit parade for Texas High here in this 3rd inning. That's their 5th straight hit in the inning. Had 3 singles, a home run, and now a double. And still nobody out. Now here's Caitlin Cross. A 7-4 ball game. My goodness. Well, I'll tell you, the ball is carrying well tonight. Swung on and hit foul off to the right side. Bounces in the concourse for strike 1. Hits on the concrete. Hammered off that fence at, around the ballpark here. Bailey Haggerty ready to work. 0-1 the pitch. Swing and a miss. Took something off. Put it on that outside part of the plate. Cross couldn't catch up with that. She's in an 0-2 hole now. Again, nobody out, runner at second, and Texas High has scored 4 in the inning already in a 7-4 ball game. LadyCats lead. And the 0-2 pitch just missed outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. It's one of those nights where everything really supercharged tonight. Ball carrying very well here at LadyCat Park. Everything hits, getting a boost. 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Nice pitching by Bailey Haggerty against a dangerous hitter, Caitlin Cross. And that's out number 1 in the inning. Here's Kylie Spriggs as she hit the ball very hard to shortstop Kelsey Wallace, who threw her out at first time up. And Haggerty's first pitch to Spriggs, she again took something off and put it on the outside. That missed for ball 1. And 7-4, Texas High with 4 runs in the inning. They have a runner at second and 1 out. Here's a 1-0 pitch, just off the plate. 2-0 the count to Kylie Spriggs. And the Texas High catcher, wearing that number 6. Steps back in. And Bailey Haggerty ready to work here. And the 2-0 pitch. Swung on and blooped toward right for a base hit. Allie Fight picks it up. Here's the throw to the plate. The tag, not in time. Just in ahead of the throw was Allred. That was a nice throw by Allie Fight and a good tag there by Brinkley Driver. But Allred just beat it as she scored on that bloop single down the right field line that Fight had on 1 hop. So it's a 7-5 ball game now. A 5 spot by Texas High in the top of the 3rd to match the 5 runs the LadyCats got in the 1st inning. Still just 1 out. Here's Alexis Bolden. She popped a second. Nice play, Sierra Smith. That pitch in there for a called strike from Bailey Haggerty. So it's going to be, looks like a slugfest here. JV game was that way. LadyCats JV won that one. I'm not sure of the exact score on that one. And the 0-1 pitch. There's a throw to first. Pitch at home was a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Driver threw to first, but Spriggs got back in at first. So Bolden now has a 1-1 count. And swing and a miss, and actually the count was 0-2. So somewhere I misread the tea leaves, and that is a strikeout for Bailey Haggerty, and that's her 2nd in the inning. and her third in the ball game. And here's Vanessa Perez as Texas High is hit around here in the top of the third inning. Perez hit a popper down the third baseway that was caught to end the inning. In the second inning, it was caught by Kate Womack, who's right now having a conversation with pitcher Bailey Haggerty.
Now running number 9, Haley Smith.
Haley Smith is now running at first base, and she'll be running for Spriggs. And I was all set to talk about Spriggs running good for a catcher, and I'm sure she does, but they have put Haley Smith in there to run for Spriggs. Here's the first pitch, blooped on the infield and caught there by Maddie Millsap. Bailey Haggerty was heading for it, and then she got called off at the last moment. She just got out of the way, and a nice aggressive defensive play there by Maddie Millsap, who I'm sure felt like she had it all the way. Texas High scores 5 runs in the inning. They had 6 hits, and I show no errors by the Lady Cats, and Texas High had 1 runner left on. So we played 2.5 wild innings here from Lady Cat Park. We have a new score now. It's the Lady Cats of Sulphur Springs 7 and the Texas High Lady Tigers 5. It's the bottom of the third inning for the Lady Cats. They lead 7-5 in the ball game, and here's Addison Cadell. She was on an error first time up, and the pitch to Addison swung on, base hit to center field. Out there on one hop to the center fielder Valerie Perez. Well, a nice hot shot to center field as the Lady Cats and Lady Tigers have the batting shoes on tonight, as everything being stroked, and not only that, but everything kind of supercharged here on a night when the ball carrying very well. Maddie Millsap up there swings and fouls it back into the screen for strike 1. Maddie has a strikeout victim in the first inning, 0 for 1 in the ball game. Addison Cadell running down at first base. But if she was pitching, they'd have a pinch runner in there, courtesy runner. Here is the 0-1 pitch on the way. Swung on and hit foul. And third baseman over, but it rattled on the Lady Cats dugout there and went out of play. That was Lauren Allred chasing that ball. And 0-2 the count now to Maddie Millsap. First baseman for the Lady Cats. Steps back into that batter's box. Nobody out, runner at first. Here's the 0-2 pitch, high and outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Nyla Lindley's in the on-deck area for the Lady Cats. Coach David Carrillo down at third base in his 13th season. 1-2 pitch, that's high and outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. And if you say, can you top that, how about Jared Hammock over there at Wildcat Park tonight in his 14th season? The ball game being announced tonight by Don Julian in his 14th season. Here's a 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss, and that's strikeout for out number 1, and that'll bring up Nyla Lindley. Nyla popped the ball back behind the catcher, and it stayed in the field of play and was caught by the catcher for a foul out to the catcher. So she's 0 for 1. Pitch to Nyla Lindley, hit off the fist and blooped out toward the pitcher. Egger makes the catch. And so 2 up and 2 out after the base hit by Addison Cadell. That'll bring up Kelsey Wallace. She's 1 for 2 in the ball game. Hit a homer to start the ball game and was on a shortstop error. Pitch outside, ball 1 to Kelsey Wallace. Again, Addison Cadell on at first. Egger ready to pitch. And the 1-0 pitch on the way. That was down too low. 2-0 the count to Kelsey Wallace. And Wallace back in the batter's box. And Egger's 2-0 pitch. That's over but low, and 3-0 to Kelsey Wallace. Allie Fight is in the on-deck area if the Lady Cats can extend the inning here. Have a runner at first and 2 out. And the 3-0 pitch. That caught the outside part of the plate. 3-1 the count. And Wallace back in the batter's box. The wind-up and the 3-1 pitch is swung on and blooped out toward shortstop. The catch made out there by Bailey Groom. And that's going to do it for the Lady Cats. A hit, but nothing more in the bottom of the third inning. No runs, one hit. There were no errors. So now we have played 3 complete innings of play here from LadyCat Park. The Lady Cats of Sulphur Springs 7 and the Texas High Lady Tigers 5. Moving along now to the top of the 4th inning. Scheduled hitters for Texas High. Let's see if I can figure it out here. They will start with Alex Reed, Valerie Perez, and then up to the top of the order, Ashante Northcross. So 8, 9, and 1 for Texas High. These are the batters right here that started everything, kind of ignited the inning last time. And Alex Reed started it all with a base hit. It was a ball that looked to me like she beat it at first. A little high throw by Wallace. And the first pitch to Reed misses outside for ball 1 from Bailey Haggerty in her 4th inning of work now. Was kind of cruising along, no runs, no hits, and then hit a speed bump. They're bad as they are out in this parking lot here. They have world-class bad speed bumps around this ballpark. The worst I've ever seen. Here's a 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike. They will rattle your teeth. There's no speed that you can have slow enough to hit those things that's not going to rattle your teeth. Like that old railroad crossing used to be over on College Street. They fixed that, by the way. That missed, 2 balls and 1 strike. To Alex Reed, she's the right fielder for Texas High. Top of the 4th inning, Lady Cats leading 7-5 in a wild one here. And Haggerty, 2-1 pitch. Boy, that was a close pitch. Missed somewhere. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Actually, let's call it 3-1. I'm giving myself away. I thought that was a strike. 3-1's a count. Doesn't matter what I think. Here's a 3-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Reed, kind of a last-second decision to take a cut at that one, and count is full now. And Bailey Haggerty ready to work with the full count pitch here. 3-2 pitch, swung on, grounded to Wallace at short. Gobbles this up, throw to first. Nice accurate throw, 1 up and 1 down. And that'll bring up Valerie Perez. She laid down a perfect bunt. In fact, they had 2 perfect bunts. But I think hers was picked up by Maddie Millsap, and she just put it in her pocket because she had no play. It was a perfect bunt. 1 out, nobody on here in the top of the 4th. And pitch to Valerie Perez misses outside, ball 1. Another one of these slap 9-hole hitters. That kind of, once you start going around, it's a put that 9-hole with the first hole, and you've got 2 of those slappers back to back. And Bailey Haggerty, 1-0 pitch. Missed inside, 2-0 the count. I don't, the way that slapper, the way they run out of that batter's box, they don't really give the umpire much of a look. That's tough on umpires to me. Have to make that ball strike call on that. 2-0 the pitch. Call strike on the outside part of the plate. I guess as an umpire you'd say, well, in doubt, throw up the right arm. It's called strike. Of course, if it looks like a pitch that's kind of right in the strike zone anyway. 2-1 pitch, swung on, grounded down Kate Womack at third. Good field, throw to first to Maddie Millsap. 2 up and 2 out here in the top of the 4th inning. That'll bring up the top of the order, Ashante Northcross. She was hit by a pitch in the first and then singled back in the 3rd inning. and she came in around the score on that grand slam home run. 2 outs, nobody on, and here's the pitch to North Cross, and she bunts the ball, fielded Haggerty, throw to first, a high throw out at first on a close play. So the Lady Cats get out of the inning. Up and down in order for Texas High. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. So we've played 3.5 here from LadyCat Park. It's the Lady Cats of Sulphur Springs 7 and the Lady Tigers of Texas High 5. And the bottom half of the 4th inning, Lady Cats will have hitters 2, 3, and 4 in the order. Allie Fight, Brinkley Driver, and Kate Womack scheduled to hit here in the bottom of the 4th. Lady Cats 5 runs in the first, 2 in the second, and then Texas High 5 runs in the third in this wild one. Allie Fight is 2 for 2, 2 singles, and has scored 2 runs. Pitch from Egger, swung on this, grounded to the shortstop, fielded by Groom, throw to first. Little bit low, but Cross picked it right off the ground. And 1 up and 1 out, 1 pitch. And that'll bring up Brinkley Driver. She popped to second and then was on a fielder's choice. She grounded the ball down to third, so 0 for 2 in the ball game. And Eggers pitched to Brinkley Driver, and that one bounced in. Ball 1. Of course, you can hit that bounce ball if you want to. Watch Yogi Berra hit a home run one time on a ball that bounced in at home plate. Here's a 1-0 pitch, and that missed. 2-0 the count to Brinkley Driver. Boy, Yogi could do it all, couldn't he? And the 2-0 pitch. Call strike. Oh, Greg Owens is going to get on me again for those old references that nobody remembers anymore. I think there's a few old timers out there remember Yogi Berra. What a great catcher. 2-1 the pitch, swung on, slashed over the third baseman's head out into left field for a base hit for Brinkley Driver. Boy, that took a jackrabbit hop over the third baseman Allred's head. Well, 1-out single for Brinkley Driver. And just like clockwork, here comes Abby Bayer.
Now running number 14, Abby Bayer.
And I always submit that they ought to put a few hurdles around there, around second, third, and all the way to home, so Abby could run over those hurdles from first to home. Pitch on the way. Call strike now to Kate Womack. Kate is 1 for 1 in the ball game. She singled and scored in the first and had an RBI on a sacrifice fly in the second. There is a pitch, kind of an ephus looking pitch, kind of looped in there up toward home plate. Some people call it the alley-oop. It missed anyway. 1 ball and 1 strike, Kate Womack. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Base hit to left field. A 1-hopper goes through the left fielder. Abby Bayer is on racing, and they're going to send her home. Shortstop will turn, have no play as Kate Womack hits the ball out to left field for a double. Just eluded the left fielder, and that was enough for Abby Bayer just to never stop running. So a RBI and a double for Kate Womack, and the Lady Cats are up 8-5. Now in there is Sadie Stroud. First pitch misses for ball 1. Sadie is 2 for 2. She's got 2 singles, an RBI, and also scored a run. And the 1-0 pitch to Stroud, and that misses. 2-0 the count to Sadie Stroud. So the Lady Cats have picked up a run here to make it an 8-5 ball game. And 2-0 pitch. That's right down the middle of Houston Street. 2 balls and 1 strike. And the 2-1 pitch on the way. Swung on in a lash toward the shortstop. Fielded there by Groom. Nice throw to first. And Abby Bayer holds, or excuse me, Kate Womack holds on at second base. Second out of the inning. And here is Sierra Smith. She hit a grand slam home run in the first and hit the ball back to the pitcher the next time up. So she is 1 out of 2. with Kate Womack running down at second base. Here's the pitch to Sierra, and that ball was lobbed in there and did not catch the plate. 1-0 the count. That's the kind you'd kind of take anyway. Figure, how am I going to hit that? Here's the 1-0 pitch. Swung on, base hit to right field. Ripped out there by Sierra Smith. They'll send Kate Womack home, and there'll be no throw as Texas High throws it towards second base. So an RBI single for Sierra Smith, and the Lady Cats played another run now, and they go up 9-5 in the ball game. Here's Addison Cadell. She was on an error on the second baseman. She hit the ball off the second baseman, then single, so she's 1 out of 2. Swung on, base hit to left field, and it's all the way to the wall. Rounding third and coming home to score is Sadie Stroud. Or excuse me, that was Sierra Smith. Smith coming around to score for the Lady Cats on the solid double there between the left fielder and the center fielder for Addison Cadell. And the Lady Cats a 3-spot in the inning, and they now lead 10-5. And David Carrillo looks like he's going to bring in a pinch hitter here. And it's hard to tell who that pinch hitter is because she's wearing... I did not hear who... Oh, Landry Bell is who he said. Landry is in there somewhere. She's got a jacket on. But somehow, I would imagine that Kevin probably had some help there, or he might, as a former Lady Cats coach, he may have spotted Landry Bell. So now Landry Bell hitting. Swung on, hit foul. Strike one, hitting for Maddie Millsap here in the bottom of the 4th inning. And Addison Cadell running at second. The Lady Cats with a 3-spot here to move that lead up to 10-5. That pitch bounced in, 1 ball and 1 strike. Several of those bouncers that got about 2/3 of the way to home plate and then kind of hit. That dirt's real thick. Here's a 1-1 pitch, swung on, grounded, 1 hot hop to third base. Throw to first is in time. And that's going to do it, but the Lady Cats put up 3 more big runs. 1, 2, 3, 4 hits for the Lady Cats in the big inning. And no errors by Texas High, and the Lady Cats left 1 runner on base. We have a new score now after we've played 4 complete innings here at LadyCat Park. The Sulphur Springs Lady Cats 10 and the Texas High Lady Tigers 5. And now moving along into the top of the 5th inning here at LadyCat Park, and the Texas High Lady Tigers will have hitters 2, 3, and 4 in the order. Here's Bailey Groom. Her last time up, she hit a grand slam home run. She sacrificed before that, so she is 1 for 1 with 4 RBIs. Bailey Haggerty ready to work, and the first pitch is on the way. Swing and a miss by Bailey Groom for strike 1. Had that grand slam home run kind of cut at that one. She wanted another long fly. And Haggerty, the 0-1 pitch. And that missed outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. And Bailey looks at that wristband. The wind has kind of died here. It was pretty brisk between right field and left field when we started. 1-1 pitch, just off the plate. 2 balls and 1 strike. And Groom back into the batter's box. And Bailey Haggerty, 2-1 pitch, swung on, hit past Bailey. Wallace comes up, throw to first in time. Beautiful play by Kelsey Wallace on a ball that just got through Bailey Haggerty, and Wallace raced to that ball quickly and then made a very good throw to first. That's a tough play for a shortstop on that one, I guarantee you. 1 up and 1 out, and here's Lauren Allred. She grounded to second and then hit a double and scored, so she is 1 out of 2. Left-handed hitter. Open stance against Bailey Haggerty, and the pitch misses outside for ball 1. 1 out, nobody on as we play here in the top of the 5th inning. The Lady Cats with a 10-5 lead. Haggerty, 1-0 pitch. Call strike 1. 1 ball and 1 strike on the outside part of that plate. Say as long as you're getting that pitch, keep that ball out there. Make them go out and get that thing. And here's Bailey with the 1-1 pitch. That's high and outside, 2-1 the count. Caitlin Cross is in the on-deck area for Texas High. And the 2-1 pitch, that swung on, hit foul off to the left, 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Lauren Allred back in there for Texas High. Bailey Haggerty ready to work, and the 2-2 pitch. That missed outside, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Right before Bailey threw that, something distracted her, and she looked away from home plate and then delivered. I wonder what broke her concentration. But 3-2 now, with 1 out, nobody on here in the top of the 5th. Lady Cats leading 10-5. And here comes the 3-2 pitch. Swung on and grounded down to first. Maddie Millsap will have it and tags first ahead of Allred. 4 out number 2. 2 up and 2 out for Bailey Haggerty.
Caitlin Cross.
And Bailey kind of settling down after a real tough inning. And she has now retired 6 in a row. 7 in a row. Since the roof kind of fell in there on her in that top of the 3rd inning. Here's Caitlin Cross. First pitch misses for ball 1. Caitlin has struck out twice. This big number 4 hitter, 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. Very uncharacteristic. And the 1-0 pitch. Just off the plate, 2-0 the count. Bailey's had good luck against her, but you don't want to go to the well too much, but she's had good luck taking something off and keeping it outside. Because eventually the batter will say, just give me that fat pitch again, see what happens. Here's a 2-0 pitch that swung on and hit blooped. Sierra Smith. Oh my goodness. That had right field written all over it, and Sierra Smith heading back toward the outfield just reached up and snagged that ball. You could just see that white disappear into the glove. That was a beautiful catch by Sierra Smith. 3 up and 3 down for the Texas High Lady Tigers. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. And we have now played 4.5 innings here at LadyCat Park. It's the Lady Cats of Sulphur Springs 10 and Texas High 5. And moving along now to the bottom of the 5th inning, the Lady Cats will have hitters 9, 1, and 2 scheduled to hit here in the bottom of the 5th. Be Nyla Lindley, Kelsey Wallace, Allie Fight scheduled to hit for the Lady Cats here in the bottom of the 5th. Egger is back out there for Lindsay Egger for another inning. This is her 5th. And Nyla is 0 for 2. She has popped the ball up. Catcher caught one of them, the pitcher caught the other, so she's hit a couple of poppers, 0 for 2 in this one. Good hitter, though. She usually quits herself well with that bat in her hand. And Egger's pitch on the way. This one bunted on foul down the 3rd base line. Pretty good idea, but it just went foul about halfway down the line right in front of Allred, who grabbed that immediately. You want to sure corral that ball, because if it does happen to take some crazy English and go back into fair territory, it becomes a fair ball. And then the runner standing on first. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That's high and outside, 1 ball and 1 strike to Nyla Lindley. Lady Cats left fielder in this one. And the 1-1 pitch, that swung on and hit foul. The catcher coming back. She won't get to this one. It landed just down below us and then took a kick into the stands, which excited the people in the stands. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Nyla Lindley. And the 1-2 pitch, that swung on and blooped. Third baseman has it. Allred makes the catch. And that is out number 1. 1 up and 1 out. That'll bring up Kelsey Wallace. Wallace is 1 for 3. Hit a homer in the first. Was on an error on the shortstop. And then popped the ball to short. So she is 1 out of 3. And the pitch to Kelsey Wallace, the old blooper pitch that time. Ball 1. Shades of slow pitch softball there when you have to have that huge arc on that ball. And the 1-0 pitch, that's in there for a call strike. 1 ball and 1 strike to Kelsey Wallace. Wallace back in the batter's box. Egger with a 1-1 pitch, and she looped that one in there. 2-1. I thought the umpire's arm was coming up for a strike, but he came up, I think, to indicate the ball was too high. So 2-1 the count. And the 2-1 pitch swung on and drilled just foul, just off the bag at third base. Good call by the home plate umpire to rule that one over out in foul territory. Just missed the bag. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Kelsey Wallace. Allred is not anywhere near the line, so she's kind of cutting down on that hole. Here's the next pitch that bounced in. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Kelsey Wallace. And Wallace back into the batter's box. And the wind, the 3-2 pitch swung on and hit well to left field. That ball is really hit. It's out of here. It's in the trees. A home run number 2 for the night for Kelsey Wallace. And you could just tell that thing was blistered off the bat. There's the old expression, that could hit that one out of any park in America, including Yellowstone. Whoa, home run by Kelsey Wallace. 11-5, LadyCat lead. That'll bring up Allie Fight. She has a couple of hits tonight, 2 out of 3. 2 singles and ground to short. She scored 2 runs. The LadyCats, again, have their hitting shoes on tonight. I think that was their 13th hit in the ball game. And here's Allie Fight. Swung on, hit off the fist to the second baseman. She scoops it up, throw to first in time. That's the second out of the inning. Nice play there by Vanessa Perez, because a lot of times that soft dirt, that ball hits sometime and just kind of sticks. But she was all over it and then really put a hot throw into first base. And here's Brinkley Driver, who has a hit in the ball game, and she smashes it to left center field. It'll go all the way to the wall and bounce off the wall, and Brinkley steams into second base with a double. So in the fine tradition of wee Willie Keeler, Brinkley Driver hit it where they ain't. And they weren't in left center field. So a 2-out double for Brinkley Driver, and again, Abby Bayer is out running for Brinkley with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. And here's Kate Womack, who has 2 hits. She's 2 for 2 and takes a ball over but low. Single, double, sacrifice fly, 2 RBIs, 2 runs scored. What a night for Kate Womack in that 4 spot. 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss. Count goes to 1 ball and 1 strike, and now Abby Bayer again taking a huge lead and forcing that throw and just getting back in ahead of that tag that time. And Coach Hatfield is coming out there for Texas I. And talking to his pitcher, Egger. You cannot see the warm-up areas here, so it's hard to tell if they've got anybody down there. Or either team. Both the warm-up areas are blocked by the nice big dugouts here in LadyCat Park. And looks like Coach Hatfield is he's signaling for the dugout. We're going to have a pitching change here for Texas I. He's even taken the ball. Boy, that's the final sign there. We have a pitching change here at the ballpark. We'll tell you all about it when we get back. Back in a moment. A new pitcher for Texas High is Elizabeth Smith. So Smith is the new pitcher now for Texas High, replacing Lindsey Egger. And he did it in mid-batter here with Kate Womack at the plate. Just decided she was out of gas. And so Elizabeth Smith, she's another righty for Texas High, comes in to pitch here with 2 outs. So 4 2/3 innings recorded by Egger. And she is responsible for Abby Bayer, who is on at second base.
Now pitching number 16, Elizabeth Smith.
So Kate Womack now gets to face 2 different pitchers here. She has a 1 ball and 1 strike count. And she hits with 2 outs and Abby Bayer running at second. Abby has scored 2 runs tonight. He is a very swift base runner. Here's the 1-1 pitch, and that was down too low, and Bayer taking off. Throw to third, goes down the left field line. Bayer picks herself up, and she's headed home. And just like that, Abby Bayer stole a run. As catcher's throw goes out into left field for an error. And the Lady Cats lead 12-5 now. Pitch on the way to Womack, and now the count is 3-1. Trying to mark everything so I can remember what happened later on when I'm in the middle of the night trying to figure it out. There's a call strike, and the count goes full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Again, Wildcats baseball going on over at Wildcat Park. They're playing Lindale tonight. Big district ball game for the Wildcats. 3-2 pitch, swung on down the third baseline for Kate Womack. Fielded quickly though by the left fielder, and they'll hold Kate to a single. That's her 3rd hit of the night, as Kate Womack is 3 for 3 with a sacrifice fly. How's that for a productive evening? And that'll bring up Sadie Stroud, who has a couple of hits tonight. I mean, the Lady Cats have pounded the ball tonight. 5, 7, 8, 12, 13, 14, 15 hits. There's a pitch that just missed, ball 1 to Sadie Stroud. Again, Stroud 2 singles, grounder to short. She scored a run, she's got an RBI. Gaudy statistics. Here's the 1-0 pitch, that was down low, and again, a good job by the catcher there of Kylie Spriggs, doing a good job of keeping that ball from going back to the backstop. 2-0 the count now to Stroud from Elizabeth Smith here. And Smith's pitch is going to miss outside, 3-0 the count. So let's see what Stroud does on 3-0. Well, when in my Little League days, there was only one sign I was going to get, and that would be T-A-K-E. 3-0 pitch, and there's a call strike, just caught the outside part of the plate. But in modern baseball, a lot of times they say, hey, if you get a fat one, take a cut. So that may be the best pitch you see. Here's a 3-1 pitch, swung on and looped out into center field for a base hit. Womack will hold at second. A solid single, the 3rd of the ball game for Sadie Stroud. I would not want to pick an offensive MVP in this one, because you might want to consider Sierra Smith. Grand slam home run, hit back to the pitcher, and then she singled and scored, and she's got 5 RBIs in the ball game. Pitch to Sierra, base hit to right field, and Womack heading around third. Stroud heading all the way to third, and an RBI base hit for Sierra Smith. And the Lady Cats now lead 13-5.
Number 10, Addison Goodell.
Kate Womack came all the way around to score. Well, how about this for an offensive MVP? How about Addison Cadell? She's on an error, single, double, and an RBI, and she swings and pops the ball out to center field. Second baseman back and makes the catch, and that's going to do it for the Lady Cats. But another very, very productive inning as they send 8 batters to the plate, and they score 3 runs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. Oh my! No Texas High errors, and the Lady Cats left a couple of runners on base. So we've played 5 complete now from LadyCat Park. And our new score, the Lady Cats of Sulphur Springs 13 and Texas High 5. And moving now into the top of the 6th inning. Texas High will have 5, 6, and 7 in their order scheduled to hit. This will be Kylie Spriggs, Alexis Bolden, and Vanessa Perez. Spriggs has a single tonight, 1 out of 2. Had an RBI on that single, also grounded to short. This is the catcher for Texas High, as Bailey Haggerty ready to work her 6th inning here. And the pitch on the way is swung on and blooped, and Sarah Smith with another circus catch. Oh my, where are the elephants and the lion tamers and all that? Circus catches by Sierra Smith. She's just flagging down everything. Out number 1. That looked like it might have a chance for a base hit. Alexis Bolden, the hitter now. Wait a minute, is this a... Yeah, this is Sophie Cree. So Cree will now hit for Bolden. With 1 out, nobody on here in the top of the 6th. First pitch misses from Bailey Haggerty, ball 1. I'll tell you, Bailey's beginning to mow him down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in a row since that huge 5-run explosion in the 3rd. 1-0 pitch, swung on, grounded, base hit. Just got it by Kate Womack's glove and out into left field for a base hit. And Cree pinch hitting with a base hit for Texas High, a 1-out single.
Number 2, Vanessa Perez.
Vanessa Perez is next up now. She's the 7-hole hitter, and she popped to 3rd and popped to 1st. So a couple of pop-ups for Perez on the infield. Pitch from Bailey Haggerty, swung on, foul ball right at the gate of the Lady Cats dugout there. It's usually in that area where they sit on that that can of some kind and kind of call the pitches and do all those other things you do in a dugout. 0-1 the count now to Vanessa Perez. I don't know what that container holds. I'm going to have to ask David Carrillo. 0-1 pitch outside. Coach Driver here, he probably knows the answer to that. 1 ball and 1 strike now to Vanessa Perez. With Cree leading off first. Here's the 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Brinkley Driver dropped the ball but quickly picked it up, and that runner was not going. Brinkley was ready if she was to take off. 1-2 the count now to Vanessa Perez. And Bailey Haggerty now with a 1-2 pitch. That was up too high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Recently a lot of talk about softball pitchers because they had a pitcher that had a huge number of pitches thrown in a ball game, but it doesn't seem to matter softball pitchers. 2-2. There's a ball grounded to Wallace at short. Oh, it went through Wallace out into left field. That one kind of ate her up that time, and I'm not sure what happened, but Vanessa Perez is on.
Alex Reed.
So runners at 2nd and 1st now with 1 out, and here's Alex Reed. She bunted her way on. Or she, well, let's see, no, she got on, she beat the ball out, grounded to short, and also grounded to short. So 1 out of 2, and the first pitch in there for a call strike. 2 on and 1 out here in the Texas High 6th, and they trail 13-5. Lady Cats have just pounded the ball tonight. Just a ton of hits, 15 plus anyway. Have to add it up again. Here's the 0-1 pitch, swung on, base hit to left field for Texas High. Nyla Lindley up with it quickly, and Texas High has loaded the bases here in the 6th inning.
Number 1, Valerie Perez.
So here's Valerie Perez. Hits with the bases loaded and 1 out. Kate Womack and Maddie Millsap way in at 1st and 3rd. Pitch on the way, swung on, hit foul. Again, off the front of that LadyCat dugout over in that area. Strike 1 the count. Slap hitter just trying to put the ball in play somewhere. I would advise to second or short. They're back deep, and we'll probably get a run in. 0-1 pitch, lets that one go. 1 ball and 1 strike. You hit the ball down to Kate or Maddie, and they're going to be, I would imagine, just trying to throw a strike into a Brinkley driver that'll be standing on home plate. Bailey Haggerty ready to work, and the 1-1 pitch swung on right back to Bailey Haggerty. Throw to the home plate out there, and Brinkley will put that one in her pocket, and they got the lead runner. Well, fielder's choice for Valerie Perez. And that's the 2nd out in the inning. The LadyCats within 1 out now, trying to get out of this. 2 outs in the inning with the bases loaded. And that'll bring up Ashante Northcross, another slap hitter, and she takes a strike. She was hit by a pitch. She singled and grounded back to Bailey Haggerty. So she is 1 out of 2, has scored a run. Pitch to Norcross, that missed outside. Brinkley tried to drag that into the strike zone. The umpire not biting on that. 1 ball and 1 strike. But they will bite. I have seen it done more than once. That's why the catchers do it. Catcher 101, that's the first thing you learn. Drag that ball in the strike zone, or frame the pitch is actually what you would call that. 1-1 the pitch. Call strike on the outside part of the plate. 1-2 to Ashante Northcross. And Bailey Haggerty looks at the wristband. Let's see what Bailey Dorner is called here. And the 1-2 pitch, and waved at and missed, and Bailey Haggerty wriggles off the hook. Got the bases loaded and then got 2 big outs. No runs for Texas High. They had 3 base hits. No errors in the inning, and 3 Texas High base runners left on the pond. The Ducks on the pond. So no runs, again, 3 hits, no errors, 3 runners left on base. We played 5.5 from LadyCat Park, and it's LadyCats 13 and Texas High 5. And so bottom of the 6th inning, the LadyCats are leading 13-5, and I re-added up the hits and got 17. And you know, I'm not surprised. The LadyCats are a very team with a lot of pride. And for them to go over to Mount Pleasant and get only 3 hits, that had to really sting those players. And so Texas High kind of bearing the brunt of that tonight as the LadyCats have collected 17 hits. Landry Bell is going to hit again. She's 0 for 1 in the ball game. She grounded to 3rd her last at bat in the bottom of the 4th inning. First pitch to Landry is in there for a call strike. She's obviously trying to stay warm tonight. She's got a jacket on up at home plate. Made it impossible for me to figure out who it was, but Kevin Tanton with those sharp eyeballs identified Landry Bell. That pitch misses. 1 ball and 1 strike. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. LadyCats just a couple of runs from ending this ball game, the 10-run rule. 15-5, but they the first batter here, so a long way to go with that. And that pitch misses. 2 balls and 1 strike now to Landry Bell. Batting here where Maddie Millsap usually hits. 2-1 pitch. That misses, and 3-1 the count to Landry Bell. Landry's especially early in the season, really hitting the ball well. Here's the 3-1 pitch, and that missed. A good eye up there by Landry Bell on the walk on 5 pitches. So Bell walks to start the bottom of the 6th. And we have a pinch hitter now for Nyla Lindley, Cole Bria Harrison. And first pitch to Cole Bria is in there for a called strike. And again, I tell the story, but I saw this young lady. She was either a 7th grader or 8th grader at a David Carrillo summer camp. And I said, David, that girl can throw and she can hit. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That's down too low. 1-1 the count to Cole Bria Harrison. I could spot this young lady as a player way back then. 2nd year on the varsity for the young lady. And the 1-1 pitch, that's high and outside, 2-1 to Cole Bria. Again, another LadyCat basketball player. So she was a little bit in the Kate Womack style, was a little bit late getting to softball. Here's a 2-1 pitch. The LadyCats basketball season made the playoffs and had a by-district game. So softball already going by then. 3-1 the count. Elizabeth Smith having a hard time finding the strike zone here in the bottom of the 6th. 3-1 pitch, and that is ball 4. Walk by Cole Bria Harrison. So the first 2 LadyCats are on here in the bottom of the 6th. That'll bring up the top of the order, and Kelsey Wallace down too low. Got away from the catcher, but not very far. And the runners, both Landry Bell at 2nd and Cole Bria Harrison at 1st, just stayed right where they were. Again, Wallace with 2 home runs tonight. She's 2 for 4. And the pitch to Kelsey, that missed. 2-0 the count. We've had a grand total of 2 strikes thrown here in the bottom of the 6th so far, and this is the 3rd batter. First 2 walked. 2-0 pitch, over but low, 3-0 the count. Boy, oh boy. Tough time finding the plate for Elizabeth Smith. Catcher trots out there, that's Spriggs. And Spriggs having a little talk there to try to instill some confidence in the pitcher to get that ball over home plate. More than likely, this young lady's been pitching for several years and has thrown a lot of strikes. Here's the 3-0 pitch. She got one in there right there. 3-1 the count to Kelsey Wallace. Looked like Wallace was taking all the way. Said, well, you're going to have to throw me at least 1 strike. 2 on, nobody out here in the bottom of the 6th. Pitch to Kelsey, buzzed her inside, and that's ball 4. And the LadyCats, without taking a bat off the shoulder, have loaded the bases with 3 walks. That'll bring up Allie Fite. She's 2 for 4 in the ball game. Has 2 of the LadyCats' 17 hits as we play here in the bottom of the 6th. Single in the 1st, single in the 2nd, ground to short, ground to 2nd. 2 out of 4, scored 2 runs. Pitch to Allie Fite, swung on and nubbed, fouled on the 3rd base line. It was a hit just about like that that won the intramural championship for me. I was the batter, and they made us bat backwards, and I never could hit left-handed. No way, no how. And I got a nubber like that the 3rd baseman was playing deep, had no chance. Our runner streaked down from 3rd and scored the winning run. 0-1, the pitch swung on off the shortstop's glove, and everybody's going to be safe, and Landry Bell will score. Almost a catch there. Just dribbled out of the glove. And so Allie Fite on the play, Landry Bell came home to score. The 14th run is 14-5, and here's Brinkley Driver. And that ball got him loose, and this might be the game. Cole Bria Harrison came in and scored, and that's going to do it. That is a 15-5 win for the LadyCats on a wild pitch, ending a wild ball game, as the LadyCats will win it by the 10-run rule by the score of 15-5. So the LadyCats in that last inning got 2 runs. They had 1 hit. No Lady Tiger errors. And they end up with 2 runners left on base. And 1 pitch came into Brinkley Driver, and that was a wild pitch that ended the ball game. So the Lady Cats pick up a big district win. They will complete the first half of district play now at 4-1. And Texas High will go to 2-3, and they will hope for better things in the second half of their season. Both the teams getting together out around the pitching circle. It's nice when they do that. Show a lot of respect for each other. And now the Texas High players heading around their coach Robbie Hatfield, and the Lady Cats head out toward left field to talk to David Carrillo. Lady Cats win this one by the score of 15-5. A wild ball game. The Lady Cats out 7-0. Then the next thing you know, you look up and Texas High is back to within 7-5. But then the Lady Cats score the last last 8 runs of the ball game and win this one. Trying to mess up my scorebook and doing a pretty good job of it here, trying to get that all corrected. Oh my, Don, what a mess. But anyway, it's going to be fun adding up all these figures, the gaudy hitting figures. It's going to be something else. And congratulations to Bailey Haggerty for really, after giving up 5 runs, she became very, very tough to hit. Although she did give up 3 straight hits in the bottom of the 6th, or top of the 6th, that loaded the bases, but then she pitched out of that by getting the last run there, or the last couple of outs after they got the bases loaded. They had 1 out, then loaded the bases, and she got out of it. So that's going to do it as the Lady Cats win this one with great hitting, and Bailey Haggerty getting the job done when she really needed to. Had that 1 bad inning, but after that was really rock solid. And so let's go ahead and wrap it up here with Lady Cats. We can tell you that their next game, and we'll be doing it on Friday, as Royce City will be coming to town as we'll start the second half of district play. The Lady Cats went out there to Royce City and won a big ball game to get the district season started out right. And again, they're 4-1 in district play and 18-5 for the season. James Terry running our spots back at the station, making sure we sound good and keeping us on the air. And Doug Haston, a great job again with engineering, setting everything up. He's got a million things to do to get that ready. And then, of course, shooting the game for Channel 18, and, of course, for the live stream that hopefully that a lot of you saw out there. And I'm Don Julian with your play-by-play. Once again, our final score here from Lady Cat Park. The Lady Cats of Sulphur Springs 15 and the Texas High Lady Tigers 5. Thank you so much for joining us this evening, and so long, everybody.